So the first topic I'm going to talk about is the latest Thunderbolts trailer. I thought this was a great trailer. Now, I've been really excited for this movie. I've loved all the trailers, and I think this is just another great trailer. And I also love how different this trailer is. This felt more like it was for like any small independent movie. It kind of felt more like an A24 movie with the intimate approach to it with this trailer, and it was like the trailer's kind of weird at times. Felt kind of weird at times too, but in a way I really loved. So I thought this was a great trailer that really stood out for a superhero movie or anti superhero movie. And I think overall this was just another great trailer where I'm really excited just to see the chemistry between all these characters. I mean, just the idea of to me of having all these characters that don't consider themselves heroes, have made mistakes, and are kind of like broken, screwed up characters, but form a family. Like I love that. I think this is just a fantastic, great trailer that really has a like I said, any small independent vibe to this trailer that I'm not used to seeing with other superhero type movies. So I think this is another great Thunderbolts trailer, and I cannot wait for this movie. The next topic I want to talk about is that Scream 7. And the thing I want to talk about with Scream 7 is all the casting additions. Because I haven't talked about some of these past casting additions. And I'm gonna talk about all of them because some of this is old news, but I haven't given my personal opinion on old news as somebody who's like a big Scream fan. Now the latest is that Ben back, the actor who played Dewey, died in Scream 5. I'm definitely wondering how they're gonna do that because he died in Scream 5. And I love Scream 5. I love Scream 6. I love the original trilogy. Scream 4 is the only one I find kind of it was fine. It's kind of forgettable to me personally. But his death had a lot of weight, and I'm curious how he's gonna be back. Like I heard some rumor about the story using maybe AI to see some maybe familiar faces. I don't know if any of that is true. But if he does come back Dewey, I'm gonna assume it's through flashbacks, because he looked pretty dead in Scream 5. So I'm definitely wondering how he's gonna be back in this. And no, I know they're also bringing back two ghost faces. Like you have the actor who played one of the ghost face in the original Scream movie. One of the two ghost faces, Billy's partner in the original Scream movie. He's coming back with. I'm definitely curious because he got a TV don't pushed onto his head and electrocuted to death. So I'm curious how they're gonna bring him back to the franchise. I know a lot of people want to see him back. And I'm excited to see him back, but I'm definitely curious how they're gonna do it. Matthew Lillard as Stu. So I'm definitely curious how they're going to bring him back too. And then you have the Ghostface from Scream 3, which is the only Scream movie that had one killer. Sydney's half brother in that movie. And I'm definitely curious how they're going to bring him back. So the reason I wanted to kind of talk about all these casting decisions together is that I'm curious how they're going to bring these characters back that all died. Like Matthew Lillard's character Stu, one of the Ghostface killers, got a TV pushed onto his head, and he looked pretty dead in the original Scream movie. And I know fans have been wanting to see him back. So I'm excited to see all these people back. I'm just really curious how they're gonna bring all these characters back. How they're gonna be, especially like I said, with Dewey, he got stabbed and looks like he was dead in Scream 5, and even with the Ghostface killers, still got a TV pushed onto his head. Like I said, the Ghostface killer in Scream 3, Sidney's half buddy, he got shot in the head. I remember. So I'm wondering, is this gonna tie in the story somehow? Is this Ghostface kill or multiple Ghostface killers doing something where they're using past ghost faces or using people that were close around Cindy? And is that sounds like maybe that could be some part of the story. I'm definitely curious how these people are going to be, how the characters are going to be back in the Scream movie. It makes me even more excited because you're bringing back three characters that look like they pretty much died, and two of them are Ghostface killers, and one of them, Matthew Lillard, I know people have been wanting to see back, and I know people have had their theories about how theories about how he maybe could have survived or how he could come back. So it definitely makes me really like more excited and curious. Like I remember like Weasley with Scream 7 when I heard the two main girls from Scream 5 and 6, the Carpenter sisters, when they weren't going to be back. I was concerned because the actor who played Billy talked about how like it sounded like they had one more story to tell with those Carpenter sisters. I do think Scream 6 ends in a way where it does close off the story, but also leaves a little bit maybe open when you see you looking at the mask. So I was concerned with the fact you're not putting them back. And I know like 2 of the 4 core are coming back, so I'm happy about that. But with Sydney coming back, I'm definitely getting more and more excited with this movie. Like, and more curious about what the story's going to be with all these past people coming back. So I'm definitely excited for Scream 7, which I wasn't originally at the beginning when I heard the Carpenter sisters, those 2 main characters from Scream 5 and 6 weren't going to be back. But now the more details and the fact having like some of these past people will come back is definitely making me more curious and excited about Scream 7. So I can't wait for this movie. The next thing I want to talk about is that Saw 11 has been stalled. It doesn't sound like it's like completely dead, but from what the reports are saying is that from the writers who were working on the movie, is that there's some fighting going on between like the studio and producers or something like that, and they haven't really worked. Like it sounds like the movie's kind of been like stalled right now, where there's not any work being done on the movie right now. Like I think it was supposed to be coming out, I believe, this year. And I think the writer said something where they haven't really wrote anything since like 2024 or something like that. Like, correct me in the comments below if I'm wrong, but it sounds like they just haven't done any work on the movie since all this is going on. So it doesn't sound like Saw 11 is canceled, but I really highly doubt that's going to make that date this year. At least coming out, I think the date was set for 2025. I think it's either going to be moved into next year or just completely get canceled, which would suck because I love Saw X. I thought that was return the form, and I was actually really excited for Saw 11. Because Saw X, I felt like got the franchise back on track and made me excited for a Saw movie again. So it sucks to hear this, that there's like fighting going on with the producers and studio that they don't agree in. So I mean, there's definitely a chance this movie could be canceled. Whether that ends up happening or not, we'll see. But it does suck to hear this. The next topic I want to talk about is that Spider-Man 4 has made a major casting announcement. The actress who played one of the characters on Stranger Things. She was also in that movie The Whale with Brendan Fraser, which I loved. I thought she was fantastic in that. But she's a great actress. I'm forgetting the character's name in Stranger Things. The character she played one of the characters in Stranger Things. And like I said, she was great in The Whale. That movie with Brendan Fraser. Sadie Sink. She was, she's a great actress, in my opinion. Like, check out The Whale. I think she gives like a fantastic performance in that movie. And I love her in Stranger Things. Like, she's great in that show too. Massey, that was it. Mass. That's the name of the character, Stranger Things. Like, she's great in that show. I think she's just a great actress. And I know people have the theories going around that maybe she'll be playing a new Mary Jane because she has red hair. I think she would be a great Mary Jane. I think she would. Like, it hasn't been like announced what character she's playing, but she has joined the cast of Spider-Man 4. So I'm really excited for Tom Holland's fourth Spider-Man movie because I love his previous movies. I'm really excited to see Trust-wise where he goes. This will be him in his college years. I mean, the whole theory, if she's playing Mary Jane, if that ends up being the role, I don't really have a problem with that. Like, to me, Zendaya's character, I love the character, but her name was Michelle Jones in the movies. Like, I don't really find it that weird if you have 2 characters with the initials MJ. Like, it would be like my initials is TK. So my name starts with a T, my last name starts with a K. if somebody's had the same initials as me called TK because their first name started with a T and the last name started with a K, I don't really find it all that weird. Like I understand some people find it kind of weird because like she because they because I guess they made it kind of seem like Zaya's character was like their version of Mary Jane and Tom Holland movies, but I never felt that personally. Like I always felt like yes, she has the initials MJ, but her name is called Michelle Jones. It's her first name begins with an M, her last name begins with a J. So yeah, I don't think it's really that weird if they have the actual Mary Jane. And I think from what I heard, Peter meets Mary Jane when he's in college in the comics. I think from what fans have said, so it makes sense that since the next movie would be him in his college years, that should be that if there's a role if people with theorizing what character she could play, I could see her playing a great Mary Jane. And Zaya's character, personality wise, wasn't anything like Mary Jane's personality in comics. And like I said, her name of the character was Michelle Jones, not Mary Jane. So I don't really see anything wrong with if Mary Jane ends up being the character that the actress from Stranger Things is playing. I think that's a great choice. I'm definitely curious to see what role she is going to play when it's announced what character she's playing. I think there's a lot of great characters from the comics she could play. I think she could make maybe a great Black Cat. I think Peter has tons of love interest in the comics. I don't know too many of his female villains, but I think she's a great addition to the cast because I think she's a great actress, and that's all I care about at the end of the day is she a great actress? That's all I care about, and to me, she's a great actress. The next thing is that Accountant 2 is getting positive reviews, and it gets like 80% on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm glad to see this because I love the first Accountant movie. I cannot wait for the sequel, and hopefully this ends up being really good. The next thing is that Michael Bay is teasing an Armageddon 2, teasing that he's going to do a second Armageddon movie, and this news isn't like. For me, it's not like one of those things where I'm like, oh my god, I can't wait for Armageddon sequel. Like I thought the Armageddon movie was fun with Bruce Willis. Like it's not one of my favorite Michael Bay movies, but it was I would say one of his more fun, entertaining movies. Like it's not great, it's not a movie that I love or anything like that, but it's a fun movie. And if they did a second one, I would check it out. But it's also not a movie where I'm like, oh my god, I got to see a sequel to Armageddon. So it's not like on the top of my list. But if they did a sequel, I would check it out, but again, it's not like this is news that really, really excites me. Like I like the movie, but it's not a movie that I love. And next thing is that so Kathryn Newton has joined the cast of Ready or Not sequel, which I love hearing this. I'm a big fan of Kathryn Newton. I actually met her at a convention, and I think she's a great actress. I loved her in Freaky. I love that movie. She was in one of my favorite vampire movies, Abigail, which I love. I thought she was great in that. And I think she's just a great actress. So, to me, I always say there's nothing wrong with adding talent to your cast. And I cannot wait for Ready or Not. I love the first Ready or Not, and it's a horror movie I highly recommend you go check out if you haven't seen Ready or Not. So that's all the movie talks today. Until next time, movie fans.